Hi, my name is Caden Olson. Today we're here with the You've Got a Friend YouTube series for COD. We're going to be interviewing Dean Silvera, Dean of Math and Science. Let's get into it.
Well, I always really wanted to teach in general. Early on, it was high school biology, just because I really liked understanding how things were. And when I was going through college, I came to the realization that being a college professor would just be kind of more fun. I get to teach more with adults. They have other really cool understandings that we can work on, and we get to cover really, I guess, different topics that we would in high school and kind of expand on where the students want to go. And so that plus just seeing people have that light bulb moment has been really inspired me just to do anything dealing with students and teaching. And so that's where I started teaching for a community college professor. And then I did transition to becoming a dean. And that's it's been a fun transition because what I mentioned is I really love just seeing how things work, and that's where I was in biology. And then when I realized as a community college professor that there's more things to investigate, like how a college works, how students learn, how different communities interact with each other. And so as I've been diving deeper into that, I just sort of picked up more roles and been able to do more things at the college. And so as the needs arise, the community college dean position came open, so I just kind of went into it. And being able to transition to the idea of being in front of students all the time to now being more behind the scenes, making sure that students have what they need, making sure professors have what they need, has been very fun. Just a whole new light on being able to see how the community college system works. My favorite class that I've been able to teach has probably been organismal biology. I've found that students really love the human body, and so in organismal biology, it's an experience for me to show other things. So a student would be like, let's talk about the human bones. Like, yeah, they're great because they get thicker for various stressors, but then what about the rhinoceros bone? And I'd be able to show them an actual example of a rhinoceros bone, or show them the ossicones on a skull of a giraffe, or talk about all the crazy sea life that most people don't get to experience. That's what I've been able to really do in organismal biology, just what are the things we don't normally think about, and I love being able to teach that. Usually when it comes to tell students tips or ways to try to succeed in classes, there's a couple things that I kind of focus on. One of them is find your own way. Everyone learns differently, and the idea of trying to put yourself into a certain square peg round hole just doesn't work. And so I try to help students just try different things, explore different things until they find the system that works for them, because all of that effort will apply to them for the rest of their college. The other thing I like to tell them is, try new study methods. Kind of one of my favorite sayings I like to do in class was, if you've been using note cards for all of your life and you've not been getting the grades you want all of your life, stop. Right? And so the idea is try stuff and you will find the way to work. And yeah, I think that's how I've really tried to help students get to their path. Now, when it comes to resources at College of the Desert, there's a couple of different routes I'd like to send them. One, if we're talking about where do I get academic support, I would say the TASC, the Tutoring and Academic Skills Center, is a great place to start off, as well as MESA, where it's very STEM focused. But I would also say finding resources goes beyond just the academic. Being able to go to Associated Students, being able to go to Pride Center, anywhere where you're finding more students is extremely helpful as a resource, because then you get to be part of the college community. But on top of that, when you're talking with students, you will find more resources to help you in your classes, as well as those students who have probably gone through the same hurdles that you have. Students have always stood out and impressed me with overcoming adversity. Now, it's not necessarily one specific thing. It's the stories of every single student I've talked to that they've tackled this in their life before college, during this last weekend. And there's always these different problems, hurdles that students are overcoming. And the fact that they are taking that in stride, letting people know, maybe not letting people know, and just figuring out a way to succeed. And every time they do that, it just impresses me, and I love to watch it. And it makes me want to give them more to be able to help them get through any of their next levels of adversity they have to. Going above and beyond specifically, I think it's going to be a lot of the normal things you're thinking of, people that have not just gone through the study guides, but also seeking out help in office hours, putting in these extra study sessions. I've heard of these great pizza groups of being able to get together in order to just communicate more. I've heard of students taking more classes than they should and kind of just expressing that to me. And I would say the above and beyond part is really communicating that with me as well as other professors to think of how can we achieve this, right? Yes, this particular class load that we're coming up with might be a bit more difficult than normal, but let's talk it through. Let's make sure we can cover our bases. Let's figure out all the right supports. Let's take care of our own health, both mental and physical, to just help them get through it. And there's a few examples I could think of when it comes to particularly the pre-nursing route of those students that have done that. The best space to clear your mind on campus, the fountain in front of the library comes to mind. And I even have a particular time of year. I know we don't get snow here in the desert. That's one of the beautiful parts of being here in the winter. But there's a certain time of year where you can be right in front of the library, looking at the fountains and actually being able to see the snow on the mountains right behind you. To me, that's an awesome place to be able to just sit and to be able to clear your mind and think. Though I have also found that being able to be over there by that Mesa Center and just to see the students working, talking, communicating, though it can be a little bit loud at times, I think it can be a little mind clearing to just almost zone out, use it like white noise, to just see everyone in their element. Do I have a favorite vending machine on campus? We can say that one if we want, but I don't know if I have a particular favorite. I do know Mesa also has vending machines that are kind of special, and I almost feel bad saying that because I don't want to give away their secrets. The vending machine that's closest with the change that I have, that's probably gonna be my favorite.